What a play after play after play.
And he's got a lot of room to run, and she is taking over.
Groans, that's his building. The greatest conference in the country is showing out tonight, gentlemen. I cannot believe it. That is the greatest high school football game.
Thank you so much for being with us on a Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Maringold. This is the WCAC Spectacular. It is the Season 2 finale. We're excited to be here, and we're thankful that you're joining us. I am joined by Kevin Ricka.
Summertime in the WCAC, and the living's easy, fellas.
It certainly is. Tim Strachan.
I apologize for being away for 3 shows. It was only supposed to be 1. I was on vacation. I got a little ill after that. Had a couple rough weeks. But apparently it made me grow 2 sizes bigger than both of you. It's strange.
Sounds like a great vacation, T-Bird.
It does sound like a great vacation.
I grew bigger. What happened to you guys while I was gone? You both shrank.
Well, we weren't going to.
It's the angle. It's all on the angle.
We weren't going to call it quits on a season until we got all 3 of us together for one more show to close out this 2020-2021 WCAC season. It was a weird one. And I like to think that we gave it our best, the only way that we could, because so many other people around us were working so hard, everyone associated with all schools in this league and all schools everywhere. The least we could do was get together on Tuesday nights and make sure people knew how hard all those coaches, teachers, and kids were working, and try to shine a light on the amazing stories that continue to take place, even though people weren't able to get together and do anything.
A high tide raises all ships. The administrators, the athletic directors, the coaches, the teachers, they set the bar. And we'd have been dumb not to follow. It was pretty cool how this all transpired.
And T, I think we'll be able to be kind of introspective and retrospective throughout the night. But just a shout out to.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to explain that one to me as the night goes along. But I appreciate it.
We'll edit out the explanation in post. The Steve Calantoni, all the athletic directors and the heads of schools that supported us, even though they were busy doing 10 trillion other things. We want to say a special thank you to all of those folks, not just for recognizing that we could, provide some benefit to what they were doing, but just for understanding that every season we do this is a building block towards something bigger and better. That's the way we've been approaching it for the last 3, 4, 5 years. We wouldn't be on that path if it wasn't for men like Luke David and Vic Maddox and our main guy Kyle, who's going to be with us hopefully more and more. And so we're going to keep growing this thing. And season 2, growth is like the best word I can say for it.
First of all, it's a year that will never be forgotten. I mean, this is something that, the seniors will never forget because they went through something nobody ever went through, right? I mean, that they're different in that way. The parents, the coaches, the trainers, the ADs, the school head, the heads of schools. It was such a challenging year, and it was a blessing for us to be able to be a part of it, especially when parents weren't allowed at games and there were no spectators. We were hopefully a part of that solution in a year where there was no training guide. There was no, this is how you do this. This was all new for everybody. But hats off to how everybody handled it. And we were just, so lucky to be a part of it. And it'll be remembered for a lot of great things, not just that it was COVID, but a lot of great things that kids did, schools did to overcome it.
Well, we're going to have a few pieces that we have ready, but we did introduce a new segment this season that we're super excited to continue forward in subsequent seasons. We want to shout out to Brendan, who is absolutely essential to what we do here. So thank you, Brendan, and he was one of the ones who helped us get a little something we like to call Around the League. Ooh, that music coming in. Let's start things off out in Forestville, Maryland, where Bishop McNamara alum J.C. Whittington won a coveted Gracie Award for her coverage of 92-year-old activist Daisy Fields, who marched on Washington alongside Martin Luther King Jr. The Gracies recognize exemplary programming created by women, for women, and about women in media and entertainment. Awesome job, JC. Staying in my alma mater over in Forest Field, last time out we told you about Nicole Yergin's exploits on the track for the NCAA champion USC Trojans. But the class of 16 Bishop McNamara grad is on her way to Tokyo to represent Great Britain. Congrats, Nicole, and God save the Queen, I guess.
Unbelievable. Heading
over to Hyattsville, Maryland, where DeMatha Stagg alum Jeremy Grant, class of 2012, will be donning the U.S. red, white, and blue jersey as he has been named to the men's Olympic basketball squad, joining Adrian Dantley and Kenny Carr.
USA.
That's two.
Lace them up in the Olympics.
Olympians.
And Team USA, that's right.
By my count right here.
By the way, Jeremy, both Adrian and Kenny brought home gold in 1976 over Montreal. Let's get it done in Tokyo.
Nothing less.
On the lax field, PVI new head coach Steve Lee getting right to work, winning the red session of the 2021 National High School Lacrosse Showcase. Awesome job, Panthers. And in the same showcase, but in the white session, Coach West speaks, and the St. John's Cadets took the top honors. This marks the 78th straight weekend when a lacrosse tournament was held. Pretty sure that's true. I also think it's safe to say that the WCAC is now setting the bar for area lacrosse. Great job, Wes.
It's a takeover, isn't it?
It's a total global domination takeover by the WCAC. And the Emmy goes to St. John's alum from the class of 1996, Shamari Stone. Our guy took down 2 Emmys as part of the News 4 team here in D.C. He was out in the streets last summer covering a tough story, and he made us all proud with the way he brought it home. Congrats, Shamari. We're sure there are more of these on the way.
It's always great seeing Shamari places, but he's not just our guy. He's the people's guy.
He's everyone's guy. Man. That's for sure.
Class act. Keep it rolling, Cadet.
He's killing it.
It's always fun to see him and get to see that smile, and is just a welcoming, amazing man. Around the League, brought to you by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza is square. They do not cut corners, and they don't forget the greatest conference in the land. We couldn't be doing this this season without our friends at Lido Pizza. Special thank you to Will Robinson, the whole Lido Pizza family.
DeMatha, 94, classmate.
Oh, man, I tell you what, that's how great the conference. We roll so deep. That the lead we just like get that Lido's.
We got pizza cornered. What do you think? What do you think?
Nice.
I mean, it just popped into my big old noggin, so I said it.
We've said it a million times. We're going to say it again. Pizza night is a thing for all families, but especially coming from bigger families, the Catholic school circuit that we're all familiar with, looking for a place to feed a big family on a budget and do it deliciously. Lido Pizza has been there for generations to take care of just that.
Forever. They've been around forever, and we appreciate them immensely.
We look forward to continuing that relationship on into the fall, on the field of play and in the studio. And we had a lot of fun with Lido's this year with our guests because what people might not know, the guest is on the line and kind of on standby when we do Around the League. So they can see it. And it's always fun, I can see their face as they're watching it because we're feeding it to them back through, their computer. So they're watching the segment.
The show, not the pizza. The show.
The
we're
show,
feeding them
not
the
show.
show.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe next year.
And they're getting a total kick out of it. Watching What's Up with
cool.
the kids. Maybe that week we're doing something about a kid from their school. But either way, they get it. And that's kind of when our guests sees us do that, they get it. They know right away why we're here and what we're doing. We're covering the league and we're shining a light on these kids and these schools, and it puts them in a good spot. And they come on the show and we start talking. But invariably, it causes a little mouth-watering. I'm sorry. I'm killing you tonight.
Does that mean I'm starving?
It means too many syllables.
It's a lot of syllables. I think it's the heat in here. It makes people a little hungry, and we've had some good Lido's conversations with our guests. And as initial tribute to our friends at Lido's, and we hope everyone who sees this shares it with a friend, and definitely talk about it amongst your Lido's community. We have a little something special planned for that. Lido Pizza is square because they don't cut corners, and neither do we on a weekly basis, even though it is technically called Around the League Tea, but it's pretty legit.
Whatever. Lido's Pizza is delicious. Go get some. It's awesome.
White pizza.
That's my record. I'm taking a large Lido's sausage down before any of you two even dream of it. That's what I'm winning. That's how I'm getting myself on Around the League.
You know what? Deal.
All right.
At Lido's, Kevin and Ken, Morgan Wooten was known for drawing up plays on napkins in the restaurant, and I know he would have had a play for that New Hope team with just, maybe a second and a half? Lido Pizza's good.
Yes, it is.
Plain and simple. Hey.
They are square because they do not cut corners. They're also delicious.
That's the math I do.
It's the only math. Pizza
Lido
math
Square
is the
Pizza.
best math.
Hey, man, go to your closest Lido, order a bunch of food, and tell them there that we sent you. First Amendment Sports. Let them know.
Thank you, guys. I'm really hungry now. You talked about Lido's Pizza. You talked about Crab Feast. And
it's really a pleasure. The Lido Pizza thing really got me because we don't have a Lido in Lexington, and boy, I missed that. But,
Hey, how we doing, guys? Lido's looks good for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You cut calories because, a slice is X amount of calories, but those are real small slices.
They're little pieces.
That's not having two regular pieces.
I felt like if you eat it real quick, you trick your body that you didn't
That's
really
right.
eat it.
That's absolutely right.
I can't wait. We're going to get some
this
Lido
table's going to have some Lido
displayed
pizza
here,
on
I
it very
think,
soon.
here soon.
Oh, yeah. We appreciate
That
you,
could be
Will.
dangerous, man.
There's a lot of Lido talking with hands over here.
We said that we were gonna dangle that carrot in the form of a Lido pizza box, and we knew what would happen. Even though he's the only one on set not eating pizza.
It's on my end.
It is on your end. It is on your end. It is delicious. It is what we're doing tonight. We're so thankful for our friends at Lido's for helping us bring you this show on a weekly basis. I tell you what, I'm gonna get lost staring into that pepperoni. I'm just gonna block it out for a second here, Kevin. You gonna be okay?
No, I had Lido's last night, and I'm not sure how to go back to back, but I know I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. I love the mustache from T.
We're
live now. We're back in live.
I have just realized why I am twice the size of two of you, because I could not stop talking through that whole segment about pizza. It's like I'm the only one that eats pizza.
You're like the cookie monster
of
like
pizza.
The pizza
Monster. Yeah, that's
Hold
what
on.
I am.
I love
I'm
when you were definitive. Lido's Pizza is good. I mean, right then and there, I thought Lido's marketing is going to reach out to T, and we're not going to have a podcast anymore.
No one's going to believe
it.
We were eating it.
Will, that might be my calling.
Look at this guy. If you look back through it was like a Weight Watchers commercial for Kevin Ricca. It looked like he was reverse eating pizza for the last 6 months.
Monday through Friday, I do my stuff, but on Saturday and Sunday, I go to Lido's as often as I possibly can. I can assure you of that, my friend.
You know what doesn't look thinning? That beard I was wearing with a couple of times. Although T's mustache was
I was thinking of the
legit.
skit.
Fellas,
Bears.
Yeah.
We have documented what we did throughout pandemic. A lot of people don't want to see those pictures either. We just exposed ourselves. We're not afraid. We are who we are,
We're showing the world how we feel
Apparently,
about
I like
pizza.
It's good.
Especially Lido's.
It's good.
Holy.
Yeah, but you're not lying, man.
So, in addition to eating pizza, we didn't just eat pizza for the last 10, 11, 12 months, though that's what it feels like.
It sounded like.
So we were like, hey, listen, there's no sports to cover. Initially we didn't know if they were going to play at all this year. Thankfully they did. So we had to kind of think to ourselves, what are we going to do? And so we made a decision. We got together about a year ago, roughly speaking, the three of us did, with a blank piece of paper, and we said, we're going to interview the greatest players and coaches that we can think of in the next hour. We came up with a big long list, and it was like 2 pages long. And we put we said, you know what? Forget if we think we can get these people or not. We knew we could get these guys, and we put the list together, the guys and gals. And man, I'll tell you what, if we didn't start getting all those names, I mean, I think that right away Danny Ferry, Brian Westbrook, Tyoka Jackson,
Eric
Metcalf, Lawrence Moten, Marvin Graves, Carol Holmes, obviously Tom Clark. All the coaches
Chris
that we had.
Marco Clark,
Texas.
Bernard Joseph.
Yep. We just threw them all down. We just write all these lists, and we said, okay. And Luke helped us. He said, okay, well, when you get these guys on, what's the story? How are you going to get? And for a couple of our guests, we didn't need to say anything. The story was let them go. That doesn't make us the world's greatest interviewers by any stretch, but we had the world's greatest guests.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we had an opportunity to go through that. And I wanted to ask you guys, and T, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to ask Kevin. Give me a guest memory that stands out that in your mind.
Lawrence Moten.
Yeah.
Just because we said it all the time. I mean, he was the epitome of the athlete you wanted to be when we were in 7th, 8th grade, wanting to hopefully be on that stage at some point. He just was unbelievable. And him telling the story of the 99-yard interception return that he so nicely corrected me when I called it 90 or 91. And just, because that, as we always talked about, that was ingrained in our heads to see him make that play. And how he also said, there's no way this guy's going to bleeping throw this ball. And then he caught it, and he says for the first time in his life, everything slowed down, almost like a movie, right? And he felt like people were like waving him on, in slow motion. That just was such a cool, just to be a part of because of where we were as kids, and to be able to have that conversation with him, 30-some years later. It's unbelievable.
And may I just say on that, it did happen like a movie. I was gut-wrenched. My dad was the coach. That was my favorite team ever, the season of the soldier. It was gut-wrenching to watch him do it. It did happen in slow motion. But what he said that night would have been the beginning of his movie, how he laid his football uniform out on the bed. Jersey pants, spray-painted high-top gold cleats, long socks, sat there at the end of the bed, took a look at it, and envisioned himself doing great things. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, man, this guy, he knew he was so good. He was just a different level, but he wasn't messing around. He went through that pregame ritual as if anyone, he didn't just walk out on there. He was prepared mentally and certainly physically. That was a great one, T. And Ken, if you're going to ask me next, I'm going to say that Adrian Dantley answering the question about Isaiah Thomas. We all sat there. We knew. We talked in pre. We knew what we were getting ourselves into. We weren't trying to put him in a bad position. I just wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
And, man, he took the high road, but he looked right into that. He went, great player.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, Lawrence Moten, for me, Lawrence Moten was the name that stood out on the paper when we wrote the paper that day. And getting that done. And I mean, if you remember, it came down to like that day. A lot of times, trying to get a hold of these guys, and we're just hanging out on a Tuesday night trying to get them.
You may have sent the text at some point that day. Like, I don't know if this happened again.
It might not happen.
It was a buzzer beater, from what I recall. Beater. Yes.
I recency is always a thing, but we had. Stacking them all up, I thought that our ability to touch on every single school and have representation from both the male and female side, have a bunch of folks who look different, come from different places, have different philosophies and different approaches, and makes me the conversation we have with Carol Holmes stands out with me. The conversation we had with Katie Cage, the last show, stands out to me.
Sure.
Cindy Walls stands out to me. When you had the ability to turn it over and listen to the other person talk, and you're like, man, like I want to play for this person right now.
Or how about like Johnny Poss, who has the mental health aspect of all this crap that we went through
Yep.
in this year, to be able to, dedicate a show a little bit to that as well, that Johnny loves to talk about with his own struggles, but to help others in their struggles, because we've seen so much of that in this year.
Or talking to Bernard Joseph while the world was on
Yes.
fire,
Yes.
and getting his perspective as from multiple professions that he has in uniform, and as a mentor and role model for young men. That was something special.
That was huge for 3 middle-aged, 40-year-old white men who care immensely about equality, not just in this conference, but in this whole entire country. That was very uplifting and educational from him, as well as Chris Adoya-Chem. I can't get that young man out of my head. How his family reacted to him getting cancer while he was playing here in town, and what his father and brother did. One took over the other's business so the brother could come here and take care of Chris. And you hear stories like that, and everyone knows someone that's battling this disgusting disease. And to see how that family rallied around and what happened. Another thing that was inspiring, I left here floating down the elevator and home that night thinking about what a stud that young man is.
Absolutely. And how we're all someday going to vote Asia Shepherd into public office. I hope she runs in our district. She can be, I hope she's my representative someday. She deserves to be. And, and I don't Kevin Gibbs, I think it was fun for me personally, on a personal level, just because he's from, nearby from where I'm from, and it kind of had that little tie-in. But when you throw pictures of these guys and in jerseys like a Dodgers jersey, or Tyoka Jackson in a Rams jersey, or Roman Obin on celebrating a Super Bowl, it really you go from this is our show to just kind of fans of these men and women and the things that they've done. And I could promise you we have names on the list still, and the list grows by the day. And I'm so excited to have the list of guests coming up when we come back in a month or so and get things going again for the 21-22 calendar year. It's not going to stop. This conference gives and gives and gives when it comes to people who we need to hear from.
Absolutely. Last thing, Eric Metcalf saying he'd rather win a Heisman Trophy than an Olympic gold medal. I just thought that was something. He's one of very few people we'll ever talk to that had the possibility to to both, and that was very interesting too.
Or Brian Westbrook,
he was a stud.
Giving it, obviously giving it to me for going to McNamara, but also just for being, it's awesome because he was one of the greatest, athletes in the league when he played, period. And you turn on a game that he played in, and he was electric, and he stood out, and it sucked because he played for the Eagles, and sure enough, he had that 36 jersey on the wall.
It always
when he
hurt.
was talking to
it
him.
always hurt.
It always hurt.
Guy. You wanted the DeMatha guys to do well, like Rod McLeod that's there now. You want him to be good, but not when he's playing. No.
Not when he's playing
it's hard
there.
when it's the Eagles, man.
But we had some awesome moments. We had a lot of fun, and I have it on good authority that Luke has cooked up a little something special to take us through some of those moments. Luke?
It's a great pleasure to be on with you guys, and my heart is always been with the Catholic League, and you guys have done a great job with this show. So let's do it, man.
This is going to be major. It's going to be major, but you guys are the best part of it. So much love, and we'll keep watching.
What is a record time, and tease you record time for boys cross country, a championship winning time for boys cross country?
9 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, dude, that's fast. That's real fast.
I know.
It's gonna be more than that, T.
I was 12 years old. It was around 13. I was guessing.
By the way, I got a number of texts from my former players. Really liked your new nickname that you dubbed me, so I will not be living that one down for a long time. So,
Kid, you see, I purposely did not mention McNamara.
I know there was some deliberation there.
But the
I don't know what I'm laughing at, but.
And so you see, I got a few trophies here, but look what's on top.
There it is, Dennis J. O'Connell.
There it is.
That's there it is. That's right. So
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Place of honor.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
all. Hey,
sir.
Yeah, Danny Ferrion and Adrian Danley and Lawrence Moe and Eric Metcalf. I'm throwing these names out. I said, yeah, I'm going to do it tonight, Mom. And she was like, oh, I guess they couldn't find anybody else. And this is my mom, you know what I mean?
Hey, and Ken, you may not know this, man, but Kev, Kev was he could really dance, man. Like the guy,
I've heard.
he could cut the rug. He'd go to a dance. You just need to kind of stand by him and let him do his thing. And ladies were flocking to the dance floor to watch this put his moves on, man.
I think when you say lifer, Ken, does that? I mean, that just means old, right?
No,
We're lifers.
Hey, we're all
and we're
lifers.
very young, I promise.
It's a way of life.
Hey, look, I got a question, Ken. I mean, because you're sitting next to Tim with the Mather guy and Kevin, the St. John's guy. I don't know how you do it, bro. Like this is a study for like a hostile work environment. You somehow are able to get this done, Mustang. And I just want you to know I respect you, bro.
St. John's, when you took it 99 yards the other way, turned the game around. I mean,
101.
101.
Yes. Come on, T.
And I just noticed your first football coach was Marty Favrette. He didn't go and mess it all up. Good for Coach
Marty
Favrette.
benched me. I got benched in JV because
Yeah, and hey, T, I hated you, and I hated Kevin too. I mean, so I've had a love-hate relationship with both you guys for a long, long time.
Thank you so very much.
Ken, I want to come back on when McNamara has a good basketball team.
Yeah.
I'll sit in, I don't know, 10, 15 years from now.
Got it on tape.
Defending girls champions, but I know that's not what you're talking about. I love it.
Coached by a DeMatha grad.
Coached by DeMatha grad.
Kev, it's been great, buddy. Ken, thank you guys so much. And listen, continued success with First Amendment, man. I love what you guys are doing. And hey, man, capturing these memories of the greatest high school league in the country is something that is going to be a treasure trove for generations to come, man.
Again, I love the way you got to bring the whole league together because, like you said, they were either folks that we played against or again, as I said earlier, that tie that binds is amazing. And just like I watch and admire, because as soon as you know a kid went to one of the WCAC schools, you know they went through something special, and you're rooting for them, even if they're not a St. John's guy at this point. I root for them all.
We live on other sides of the Beltway, and we wear different colors on the sporting field, and we have diplomas that say different names. Ultimately, we're all part of this same community of Catholic education and WCAC athletics. And I think that's one of the real fun things about First Amendment sports is that you bring that all together.
That's a done deal. I'm a part of the WCAC family. You know, like I said, we battle each other, but we also respect each other.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you this, in a time when nothing's normal, having you guys there, and broadcasting the game brought back the way things are supposed to be with you guys covering the WCAC. And I know our parents appreciate it. You guys do a great job. And hopefully we're back to normal here soon. And I'm back in the basement with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Man. No doubt.
All right. Well, hey.
I'm a huge fan of First Amendment, man. You guys are, at some point, this is going to be on, it's going to be its own cable channel. I can see it. Just keep plugging, man.
We just need to get Tui's involved. They seem to get
That's
everything
true.
done.
You guys having me on. You're doing a very fine job. I was fortunate enough to coach against two of you guys and watch you grow. So thanks again for having me.
Come on,
Wow,
man.
Nice job in there,
Luke,
fellas.
Kyle,
That's
Brendan.
fantastic, man.
That's awesome. I love it. I just love it. I can listen
What
to those
was the
guys all
quote
day.
from Marco?
That was awesome.
It was, God does not choose the qualified, he qualifies the chosen. Is that it?
I think so. Something like
that
that.
was
He
it.
doesn't choose. Yeah, he doesn't call. No, God doesn't qualify the quality. Call the qualified. He qualifies.
Hey,
the
anytime you
Couldn't
guys are
remember it.
finished,
I've been trying
I'm
to
still
think about it
buzzing
all
off
the
just
time.
what happened here. There's no chance to punch the buzz in the stomach,
The point
right?
being,
Right.
the point being, we had people on here that were not just sports people. They were smart, well-educated, hardworking, inspiring people.
Yep.
People who have made huge differences, not just on a playing surface, but in the lives of other people. I mean, just watching that was I was like, we did that? Oh my God, we did this. This was pretty cool.
Ken, I've said this to you from day one. The thing that I've thanked you for the most when you got T and I involved with yourself and brought us together with these guys, Luke and Vic. I just said it's so interesting, the people we get to meet, the personalities we get exposed to. It's going to bring us all closer. It's going to make us very tight-knit. And I just feel like we've made so many friends along the way and that feel the exact same way we do. You know, like Marco said, different parts of the Beltway, different names on the diploma, different colors on the uniform. Nah, man, we're the WCAC. We all know what that means. If you know, you know. And if you're a part of it and feel it the way we do, then I can see why you'd want to catch on here. I don't know if they'd want to hang on out with us, but it seems like there's some pretty funny folks out there because these guys cut up some stuff. We were dying laughing at all these guys. What a fun time we just had. You're right, T. Ken. We did that, man. That was very cool.
An amazing season 2. And, so the, mission accomplished in terms of stepping up our game with our interviews and making sure that we're telling the story and incorporating people from not just every school but every background. In a time when we couldn't be courtside or or in the press box, to be able to still give people a taste of what makes the WCAC great. And so often, 100% of the time, in fact, every single one of those people, when we got them on, it was – if we didn't know them, our whole lives, but for that 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes sometimes, we apologize for keeping some of you on that long. But it was just easy. It was
cutting
just
some
easy.
of you off too short.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was way too easy.
Yeah.
The conversation came easy. The values that are shared and the manner in which we all believe in, the core same things. And at the end of the day, everybody is in it for, the kids that are in those buildings for 4 years, and then once you're out of those buildings in 4 years, the way that all those people have given back, and trust me, every single one of those people, that's the thing they have in common more than anything else, is that they've all given back in some way, shape, or form, and not even just to their school. To the community that they grew up in, that to the league in general. I mean, the picture of Adrian Dantley, as a crossing guard, the men and women who wear multiple uniforms, whether it be police officers or reservists or, serving in active war zones. I mean, the list goes on, the ways in which they make everybody proud. So, man, I tell you what, that was awesome, hearing them say a couple of nice things about us, but also getting a chance to hear them give us the business because we deserve it.
Of course. And, if you're going to dish it, you better be able to take it. And if there's one thing we do over here, and they captured a little of that, we're not afraid to give it out there a little bit. We're certainly not afraid to take it on the chin. But all these people make it so comfortable. I mean, Carol Holmes coming up to our table 3 years ago at the WCAC Championships. I mean, I was like, this guy's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball in the WCAC, and all he wanted to do was ask us questions. And I said, we got to get this guy on here. He talked about watching us grow up, man. Luke got a little lump in my throat there putting that in there, but so proud to call that man our friend, and everyone else that we saw here. The relationships are so ridiculous, buddy. And I hope these young kids know now, maybe they're taking a peek at us tonight or have in the past, this is what your future looks like. As big as a rivalry as you have with some of these people, as bad as the losses feel and as great as the wins are as you're watching the guys crying on the other side, at some point you kind of forget, you don't forget who wins and loses, but you forget about a lot of that other stuff, and you just remember you're no longer rivals, you're brother, cousins, and
What's cool
this
is
is what we
like
do.
Mike Kelly, right, who's the AD at South Florida right now.
Right.
He's actually bounced around and been in a bunch of places where he comes across a bunch of athletes. And what he said there is when you find out one of your athletes, like, say, at South Florida or when he was at his other destinations, you find out they're a WCAC, former player, you go up to them and you kind of give them – because you have that bond, right? You can give each other, a little bit about who won because that's fun. But then when it comes to somebody who wasn't in the league that's in the same, then you're now a team telling them we're from the WCAC, right? And that's the way it always goes, right? That's what was really cool about that, too, hearing Mike say that. Because I did, Maryland for 22 years. Whenever there was a WCAC guy, I always kind of went over and was like, hey, man, you had that close bond, man. That's great.
I got to give you guys a quick example, which is amazing. Dropping my son and nephew off at St. John's basketball camp today, the camp I worked for 15 years. You know, the circle of life goes on. And as we're standing outside yesterday, Coach Behan is doing registrations. He has kids paying to come to his camp. One kid had a good counsel shirt on. The other had some Gonzaga shorts on. Coach Behan looked over and said, hey, Mr. Rico, you got anything? Think you got any extra shorts or shirts in your car? Because I think these guys showed up at the wrong. I asked them if they were at the right address. I thought maybe they were lost. But, you know, these young men are indoctrinated right then and there, standing with their fathers who are laughing. And it just never stops. So let's make sure it doesn't. I think we're trying our best.
We are trying our best, and we will continue to redefine what that means when we come back for Season 3 to be even better than that. Another thing that we did this year to make our show better was we decided, hey, listen, we might not have sports to cover, but that doesn't mean these schools aren't doing awesome things. It doesn't mean the kids aren't engaged in helping out their communities. And, shoot, if we're going to get together and talk about the WCAC, we got to talk about that. And we had some help from Megan O'Keefe. We had some help from Luke and Brendan to put some of those stories together. We called it WCAC in the Community. We will absolutely be bringing that back in Season 3. And to some extent, here's how we got that started this year with a little bit of a WCAC in the Community. I apologize. I thought we were going to play Megan O'Keefe. I wanted to.
Luke just went.
Ken, we were that close. We were that close. And,
I know.
No, but it's okay because we're now heading into Season 3 with a full head of steam.
I'm thinking about it. I'm playing
this.
it in my
I
head.
can do this
I'm playing the clips in my head, and just so you know, they're amazing.
Roll the tape.
They're amazing. They are amazing. By the way,
Ken.
a year ago, we didn't even have somebody we could ask to roll tape. A year ago, it was the three of us being like, "Remember that? Hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that?"
Act it out. Maybe you should act it out right now, brother.
Oh no, I would be doing a disservice to everything that we did this year. So. It was awesome. It was a fun ride. I'll be happy to put some of 2020-21 to bed. I'll be happy to carry forward some of the things that we did this year to get not just to get through it, but also to get better.
I'll be happy to get the three of us to a championship. I don't care what sport. And I know why they couldn't do it this past year. I understand. Let's get the kids more games, more time to get reps and get on tape. And it was tough. It's championship time again moving forward, and we'll be there.
There isn't bragging rights. I know some guys down on I Street definitely in football have some bragging rights. Some guys in
But it's weird their opinions are different in lacrosse, you know, because the cadets over at St. John's are thinking, what?
But the kids
football
know,
lacrosse
the
rule?
kids know who the top dogs were this year, and it was spread around, and that's going to carry over to next year, which is enough of the weird. Let's get back to normal. We're going to take a little break here, but I can't wait. Until we come back.
Got picked up for Season 3.
Stuff.
We had good news. We have been renewed. We were kind of sweating it out just a little bit, but the news did come in. Season 3 is on the way. We're already filming. That's not true. But we will be coming back. Here will probably take a 3-4 week or so break. We'll hit the ground running in August to get ready for a season of sports that will culminate in not just a football championship, but a soccer championship, a volleyball championship, field hockey championships. So we look forward to bringing all of those things to you, as well as all of the stories along the way, the good things that people are doing in the community, and the amazing personalities that come out of this league. Until Season 3. He's Tim Strachan.
And we want you guys to be a part of the show. Come on, chat. Come up and see us at venues. We just love to be a part of this, and we want it to grow. And tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell your moms, dads, let's make this even better in year 3. I really can't wait.
And actually, we do have the one clip of where T was right. Luke, did you cue up that one time T was right? Nope. We don't have it. Darn it. You know what? I thought we were going to have – T, we're going to keep looking.
You almost just made him mad.
We're gonna find the clip where T was right this season. We're going to dig through the archives. I thought we had it, but I was wrong. Until next season, he's Kevin Ricka.
And I want to thank everyone that joined us. You know, some people trying to figure out the Zoom world and had to do the Skype world with us and figure all that out. there was a lot of buzzer beaters. There was a lot of times we didn't think we were going live. All these guys here, I want to say thank you to, but all these guests, not only do we have the best athletes in the league, that's understood. Male, female, we got that locked up, but people. This league's filled with amazing people. Thank you for your relationships. Thank you all for your support. And thank you for everything you said, all the kind words about First Amendment.
From the bottom of my heart and on behalf of Luke and Vic and Brendan and Kyle and Kevin and T, it has been an awesome run this year, and we're going to spend the next few weeks getting ready to get even better and do it even better and bring you a better WCAC Spectacular. Until then, I'm Ken Marigold, and this was the WCAC Spectacular.